The following is a special presentation of the First Horizon Green Sports Zone. This is the Pizza and Annette Watts Show. Welcome back to First Horizon's Green Sports Zone. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pizza and Annette Watts Show, where we cover everything on the court inside of Howell Henry Gymnasium with the Greeneville Lady Green Devils. We'll recap this past week's Christmas tournaments in the Doc Maples and the Ladies Classic and the two games that they've had since then, and talk about what's next with Dobbins Bennett on the schedule. But first, we need a quick break first. We'll be right back after these messages here on First Horizon's Green Sports Zone. The Pizza and Annette Watts Show is brought to you by Gateway Ford Nissan, Tommy's Plumbing, Pizza Inn, and by First Horizon Bank.
Here's a twist on your typical banking options. What if instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
Welcome back to First Horizon's Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Pizza and Annette Watts Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the Lady Green Devils basketball team. As always, I'm here with Greeneville head coach Annette Watts.
Nice to see you.
And Greeneville's assistant coach Zach Holt. We said we'd get him on at one point, and we did, here at Pizza Inn.
We are at
location.
Pizza Inn, fans. Here we are.
It's been a long time since we've been here. I don't think we've been here since last May, so I've missed it too much. It's glad to be back in here
and
inside
it
of
is
the party
so
room.
good, fans. You need to come and eat. It's wonderful. Our whole team is here today, so I'm glad you didn't come today because we sure have been eating some pizza.
And it's a packed out house here too. I mean, you can barely find parking. All the tables in there are filled up, so it's good to see them get business. And hey, also, if you've got the opportunity after a Lady Green Devil game, come out, $8 buffet Monday through Friday here at Pizza Inn. You can get anything you want, pizza, pasta, salad. Coach, what'd you get today?
I had pizza. In fact, just about everything they had out there I tried, but my favorite has to be the chocolate chip because I have a sweet tooth.
Coach Holt, what'd you get?
The buffalo chicken pizza.
Okay, how was it?
It was great. It was great.
Coach Watts, did you get the buffalo chicken?
I had a piece of buffalo chicken. I can't say it was great. It was really good. But see this smoke that's still coming out of my ears? It's pretty hot.
Well, we talked about it. If something's ever orange, it's gonna have some kick to it.
If it's orange, it's got kick. And remember, I have orange hair.
Let's go back all the way to before Christmas. The last time we had sat down, it's been a long time. We've got a lot of games to talk about, but it's a perfect way to go into the show because the last time we talked, you had talked about needing to turn things around, and you were 5-6 at the time. Now you've turned it around to 11-8, and you've ended up winning, I believe, that 6 of the 8 that we'll talk about right here. What was the turnaround like? Because you go from that loss to, I believe, Science Hill, to then winning 3 straight with finishing out the Doc Maples with wins over Abington and George Wythe, and then going into the Ladies Classic with that win over North Hardin. So what needed to change and what did change?
The thing that changed was our team. You know, they don't like losing any more than I do, and we work way too hard to lose. They got their little heads together. They've straightened some things out. Coach Watts helped them do some things that that I haven't done a whole lot of. We're playing some zone. We're giving a little more freedom to them to run things that aren't definitely execution plays. And I think it just let them free up and let them begin to play. And they got confidence. They started playing with emotion, and away we went. And it's been very successful. But fans, the thing you've got to really remember is the schedule we play. The schedule we play prepares us for now where we're going, this January grind in this conference. And I can't say enough good things about this team and how they've dedicated and focused and trying their best to do everything I ask and win.
Coach Holt, in your opinion too, what changed within the team that allowed you to win 6 out of the last 8?
I think it was a lot of they had to own that it was their team. And they finally got tired of hearing it from myself and especially Coach Watts. And, we've had a couple players step up and be a little bit more vocal and kind of take ownership that, like, this is my season, this is our season, and I think that was a big difference.
And then let's go into some of those games too. You suffer that loss to Science Hill. We sit down and talk about it, and right before you went up there to Bristol to play Abington, and you take down a team that's a perennial powerhouse in Virginia, and then you go and take down George Wythe and win that game by 20, back-to-back double-digit wins right there to finish it out. So take me through both of those games and how well you played up there to finish out the Doc Maples Classic.
Well, we were certainly concerned about the big signee there at Abington. Yeah, NC State's one of the premier schools, so by her going, we knew she was skilled, we knew she was talented, but something that we don't have is that 6'3", that height. So we worked on things we could do. She likes to play on the perimeter, and Maria Lyde can lock you down on the perimeter. At 6'3", it's harder for her to lock you down if you post up. Maria just played in front of her, knocked the ball down. Our guards did a great job defending the pass where it couldn't get into her perfectly, because if she can catch it with her feet set, she has great feet. She makes good, solid moves. So then I started worrying about her defensively. Will our players understand you can't dive and drive real deep? And Maria can't go up against her inside, which is to turn around jump shot. They figured it out beautifully. Coach and I worked hard one day talking about 6'3" and how you got to move with her and work with her. So we held her. I felt like we just did an incredible job. And then once you get up on a team, my group, when they get up on a team, sometimes they drop off. They don't nail the coffin shut. In that game, they nailed the coffin shut.
I got not much more to add to that. That was pretty much it. We did a good job. Marie did a great job. I think she took 2 charges, put her in some foul trouble early, kind of took her out of her game, allowed Maria to get into her game, and everybody else kind of played off of her, and from there we were rolling.
And then you get a short break.
Short break.
You celebrate Christmas Eve and Christmas, and then you go right into the Ladies Classic. 4 games, and interesting note that I pointed out to myself when I was going through my notes earlier. In the 6 games that you played to finish out the Doc Maples and through the Ladies Classic, 5 of your 6 games were against teams out of state, and out of those 5 teams, 4 of 5 were in different states.
States, yeah.
You played kind of like a college schedule where you were just playing any team from any state, but you get a win over North Hardin, Kentucky, suffer a loss to Bearden, get a win, a huge comeback win that we'll talk about separately over Albertville, Alabama, and then a loss to Farmington in Arkansas. How much did you enjoy your run through this year's 36th Annual Ladies Classic?
Our team loves playing the Classic, and I do too. It's a tradition. You come in and you just let everything go and play as hard as you can, 1 minute at a time, 1 game at a time. And I found it was so fun this year that we did play a lot of other teams. You get experience from other states, you see what other teams do, you see what other states kind of project and want to play like, and I just thought it was great. But when you play Bearden, we'd already played Bearden once, and we played Bearden the second time. I just wanted to see on that type of team, did we play better than we did the first time? Did we do things better? Did we execute better? And we did. So I knew when that happened that when we started playing those other games, we were going to start taking some big steps, and we took some big steps. What do you think, Coach?
I felt like the mood in the locker room after the Bearden game kind of prepared us for that next night, the big comeback, and even the game after that. You could kind of sense like they were disappointed in themselves just as much as we were, and they took that into the next game, and we just saw what happened.
Yep.
And to point out the losses too, you lose 2 games with possibly the 2 best players at the Classic this year.
Absolutely.
And then you play Laney Smallwood from Albertville, who's another all-tournament player. I think Bearden had 2 all-tournament players with Emma Rainey. So you play 4 of the 15 all-tournament players from that. You play some high-level competition. And we talked about that in the Doc Maples tournament too, playing high-level competition. And it only makes you better. How much better do you think the Ladies Classic is going to make you going forward now as we approach district play?
Oh, that's why we play in it. That's why we want that type competition. We're ready. Now that's not going to say we're going to blitz through the conference or anything of the sort, but there's very little that we haven't seen. So we're ready to adjust and prepare and do things. That's another thing this team is maturing in. They can watch film better. They can analyze things better. I can make adjustments in a game better with them than I was early. And I know that's for everybody, but I think some of our players have really matured, stepped up, and taken that big step.
And then Albertville. Have you ever had a high school team score 40 points in a quarter?
No. Sure haven't.
And you needed every one of those points, too, to
just
get past Albertville, erase, I believe, an 18-point deficit to get the win in that game. And, man, what a momentum-building win that is. I know the next game you end up losing to Farmington, but after that, you've picked up wins over Westridge and Alcoa that we'll talk about. But with Albertville, I mean, let's just talk about how the comeback came to fruition. I mean, what changed during that game that allowed you to get out in front and survive all the way to the finish?
Well, I had one timeout left, and I told them, I said, guys, we have nothing to lose. We have not been a good pressing team. And that's been something in my years here at Greeneville we've always been able to do. We could press and turn a game. We could half-court trap and turn a game. We struggle a little bit. And I said, guys, we have nothing to lose. We're going to press them. And I looked at him and I said, and they got two of the best guards that's here.
And they did.
And we're going to press them. Hey, it worked. It worked. We pressed them, stole the ball, score. And their little hands, their little eyes got big, their hands got small. They couldn't handle the ball, they couldn't pass the ball, they couldn't shoot the ball because there was a Lady Green Devil in every one of them's face. And once we got to rolling, you wasn't going to stop us. And we just kept going, and I thought that was so great. You're never out of a game. Heart and going hard, playing hard, getting it to the hoop, going to the free throw line and shooting, you're never out of the game. And my kiddos needed to see that. They needed to realize that against a super team. I mean, they were a solid team.
And you needed not only every point in that fourth quarter, but you needed every point, every assist, and every rebound from Briley Tulloch, because she had one of the more special performances that we've seen in the 36 years of the Ladies Classic with a triple-double. You needed every bit of it. How important was that performance?
Oh, it was huge. But she's got such high basketball IQ. She knows, okay, this is working, and we're going to go do this. And that's something this team has to learn. Sometimes you got to play through things that aren't working. Yep. You got to play through things that are hard. You just got to lay them ears back and hunker down and go. And good things will happen, and they needed to see that.
I joked around with a few people, too. The Ladies Classic themselves did not have Briley for a triple-double, but you did have Briley for a triple-double. So
did Huddle in our official book.
So there you go. So it wasn't just you all that were generous about the assists. They all agreed with it also.
About most of them.
They might be. I'm going with you all, though. I'm going with the triple-double, and not only one of the more special performances, but she was also all-tournament at the Ladies Classic. Finishing up with Farmington, too. We talked about Natalia Hodge and Bearden earlier. Now you play Easton McCullough, who sets the new tournament record at the Ladies Classic in total points with 143, and unfortunately it is the Lady Devils' expense, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about just having to go up against her and how much better that makes you having to guard such a talented guard like that going down the road.
Yeah, and it gives Coach Watts the opportunity to look at Matea and say, Matea, do you remember guarding such and such? Julia, do you remember guarding such and such? Tighten up in this game. Tighten up against Volunteer. Tighten up against Granger. And we can do it because we've had the experience. I mean, I tell you, I have all the respect in the world for the McCullough kid. She will end up playing big-time basketball. She is so skilled and so smooth and seems like a really good kid. Her mother is the coach, and I was very impressed with talking to her mom and how hard it is to coach your own child and some things like that the coach is kind of struggling from. But, I was glad we got to play against her. And the kid from Abington, because both of those, I mean, NC State, this kid, no telling where she'll go. They rumored that Gino had been to watch her several times, so it'd be kind of fun. We played a team, and she's playing at Connecticut. Hey, I know her.
And then capping off the Ladies Classic, if you did miss it, Upper Mid does win the Ladies Classic. Dana McWilliams coming in, I think maybe surprising some, but if you know Dana McWilliams and that Upper Mid Lady Bees team, it's not very much of a surprise if they win the tournament.
No, Dana does such a great job, and when you first start, we played them in the preseason. They beat us by 4 or 5.
4 or 6.
Yeah,
Like that.
and you just watch her. She don't like to run a real fast game. She wants to run a very set pattern, and by golly, they do it to the point of they can beat any team. And of course, they're in our league as far as state tournament goes. So hopefully, the Lady Devils will get to see them.
And looking at Upperman too, they played such a fascinating game because, like you said, it's not go, go, go. They bring you down to their style of basketball. And what an impressive tournament run they had, because they beat Farmington and they go on to beat Bearden, who I think if you ask a lot of people in the stands, they would have probably expected Farmington and Bearden to win because they have the most talented player on the floor, but Dana McWilliams might be the best coach on the floor
Absolutely.
in both of those games. So
I agree.
shout out to Coach McWilliams and all that. And then you get back into regular season action with Westridge and Alcoa. 2 big wins. You wipe away that loss to Westridge earlier in the season, just a couple weeks prior, and you're able to get that 68-61 win. How good did that feel to be able to avenge that one and get a win?
Okay, you get wins that you're not happy with.
Okay.
And that's just from grinding it out, but boy, that was one of them. Of course, you got to remember, fans, it was Saturday. You all were out doing other things. It was right after Christmas, Saturday at 12 noon. So it wasn't really our best performance, but it was certainly enough to win that game, and that's what you're after. So we're still growing and we're still working. And then we have who into our house? Big Alcoa. Guys, Alcoa came in ranked 11th in the state. We're probably not even ranked anywhere in the state. And they're talented from top to bottom. They're a lot like Dana McWilliams' teams. They do things the same way every time, and they're just very solid. But defensively, we were more solid, and offensively, we executed and took away and scored on things that that Coach just he wasn't prepared for. And it's funny because at the Ladies Classic, Alcoa was there, and it was talked about he couldn't stop Cott County from running what is called a flex offense. It's where you screen and cut across the lane. And he said to me, he said, by golly, we're going to learn how to guard flex. Guess how we beat them? Flex.
And how big of a confidence boosting win is it to beat Alcoa? Because you win games against Westridge, who were 4A, and that boosts your confidence to avenge that loss. You beat Albertville with that huge comeback. You beat Abington, an out-of-state team with a North Carolina State commit. But to be able to beat a team that's so highly ranked in your own classification, it gives you a different perspective, because that shows, holy cow, we can compete at the state tournament level, because a lot of people would probably pick Alcoa to make it out of that region and make it to the state tournament. So how much of a confidence builder was that to bring them in here in your own house and to get that win over a team that many expect to be down there in the glass house?
And those are the type wins that you celebrate, because you're not supposed to win. And you just get little youngins who, they don't think, oh gosh, can I play with them? Can I play with them? But you never see that in Maria Lyde's eyes. You never see it in Briley Tulloch's eyes. You never see it in Matea's eyes, and you never see it in Julia's eyes. You got 4 players out there who are saying, I don't care who you are. The name on the back of my shirt says Greeneville, and we're going to get after you. So it was just I don't know if they understand how big a win it was.
Yeah.
And it's kind of good that they don't, because now we can keep after them and say, we can do this better, we can do this better, we can do this better.
What was your perspective of both wins?
The Westridge win itself was not fun, but it was good to see that we can win an ugly, gritty's the right word,
Gritty.
but an ugly, gritty win like that, because we're going to have that in Granger, and you're going to see that against Cherokee, and Volunteers going to muck up a game. So that was the one bright spot I tried to take from it. Wasn't very many. That was one. And in the Alcoa game, I really thought from the tip, Maria Lyde, Coach Watts mentioned it, she kind of set the tone, like, they can't guard me, and you're going to give me the ball. And that opened up the whole floor for everybody. We had other, like Matea guards the best, fastest kid on the floor every time we play somebody, and she's done that for 2 months now. You couldn't ask better from her. And then other stuff, like Jordan didn't shoot the ball very well, but pulled down, had 5 or 6 rebounds. 3 of them might have been the biggest rebounds of the game. Julia, same thing, guarding they've got a stud freshman. Julia did a great job on her. Did a great job on her other girls, and then that fourth quarter, she kind of offensive time. I'm going. I don't know. She had 8 or 10 of her points in the fourth quarter. And they were all big. Free throw yips hit us. Fourth quarter, we hit them. We were able to score and execute when it mattered. And when we changed things up out of timeouts, they were able to show from the tournament games, we can do this now, and we can change things last minute. And that was the difference.
And fans, before he cuts us off for a commercial, I want to tell you something that's happening here in Pizza Inn.
Yeah, while we're
There's 3 younger children. They look maybe 4th or 5th grade. They see our team sitting up here. So they've come in. They wanted a picture with our team. They're asking them great questions, like how hard do you work? Do you all lift weights? How many points do you score? And guys, that's what women's basketball is all about. That's what high school basketball is all about. Is young people seeing role models who are doing the right things. And I tell you, I couldn't be more proud of these girls. They set great role model examples. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. But while we're here too, what are you going to do after this?
Oh, after this, tonight, Lauren Bailey, who played for us at Greeneville High, now plays for Furman. They're playing at East Tennessee State University where I played. So we're going to take the whole team. We've got this old van, but we're going up in this van, and we're going to watch the game. So we've practiced, we've eat, and we're going to go to a game. So we're having fun.
Who is Coach Watts pulling for tonight?
Okay, Coach Watts is pulling for Lauren Bailey, but she's pulling for ETSU because I was a Lady Buck.
See, that's the way to do it right there.
That's the way to do it.
Also, before I go into the break, I don't want to sell Upperman short, but 37 games from the Ladies Classic is a lot to remember. Did Upperman play Alcoa too? Upperman played a tough 3A team. Which one was it?
Did Cott County beat them early?
I don't know if it was Cott County. I'm like you.
I think Upperman may have played Cott County.
I think Upperman
Or was it?
Cott County.
No, it was Daniel Boone.
It's Boone.
It was Daniel Boone.
You're
That's
right.
who it was.
Boone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I was thinking, just right there talking about Alcoa, you got to see a lot of the best 3A teams in the state in the Ladies Classic.
You sure did.
You were fortunate if you got to the Ladies Classic because just in this region alone, you had Daniel Boone, Tennessee High, Greeneville, and Cherokee, and then in the opposite region, you had Cott County, and then over in, I believe, region 4, I think you had Alcoa. So, I mean, you had 6 of the 20 teams in the Ladies Classic right there be 6 of the best in 3A. So, I have a feeling you'll see a lot of those teams down at the state tournament this year. And we may have seen some state Final Four state championship matchups because we had some very high-quality teams there.
We sure did.
We'll go into the break, though. Not too much on the back half. Just one game, Dobbins-Bennett coming up on the road this Friday. So, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back to talk about that here on First Horizons Green Sports Zone.
Here's a twist on your typical banking options. What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
Pizza Inn presents I Ate at Pizza Inn. I ate pizza at Pizza Inn. I ate a salad at Pizza Inn.
I ate pizza!
I ate it all. Hi, I'm Kyle, and I'm inviting you to come and enjoy Greeneville's favorite hometown pizza, pasta, salad, and dessert buffet for just $8 all day, Monday through Friday. And then you can say,
"We all ate at Pizza Inn."
Tommy's Plumbing has been in business for 30 years, and we're still growing because we treat our customers like family. We are proud to do any job from kitchen faucet installation to a complete home repipe. Tommy's Plumbing offers warranties on most products installed by our technicians. When the job is done, our friendly professionals make sure to clean up. We invite you to visit our new showroom in Jonesboro to see our quality products for yourself. Tommy's is the only one to call when you need a fast, reliable, professional plumber in the Tri-Cities.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greeneville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at gatewaynissangreeneville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greeneville.
Welcome back to First Horizons Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Pizza and Annette Watts Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood inside of Howell Henry Gymnasium with the Greeneville Lady Green Devils basketball team. As always, doing here with head coach Annette Watts and assistant coach Zach Holt. Just one game to talk about. Got Dobbins Bennett. You take a little bit of time off after that too. I believe you get a week off before you jump into district play. We'll save that for next week and just make that the whole entire second half of next week, looking ahead into district action. But you got Dobbins Bennett this Friday. You go on the road up to Kingsport. What do you expect when you go into Van Huss?
Oh man, it is tough, folks, but it's not a new arena, but it's been rebuilt because they were having some structural problems. It's a beautiful facility. It's a beautiful court to play on. Their team this year has some youth that is very skilled and talented, and then they've got a few old heads that are back playing. So it will be a tough ball game. Of course, we're going up there to do what Lady Devils do, aren't we, Coach?
You got no choice.
No choice.
Take us through your expectations.
I mean, it's going to be they're going to do a lot to try to take us out of what we do, and we're just going to have to do what we do better than what they do. And they might be, as far as teams we've already played, probably the deepest team that we're going to play, if not now throughout the whole year.
Yeah, I was saying they played 200 kids.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
It's a lot of players.
Feels like as many as that school has. That's a large school.
That's a large school.
That's a large school.
I mean, they're 14 deep is pretty accurate.
You know, and
That's unheard of.
They're 11-5. They've not played the teams we've played, but they've played a lot of games. So we'll have to go in ready. That was our last thing we worked on in practice today, is what they're going to do, what can we do to outdo it. And as Coach said, we've got to do what we do better than they do.
Not only have they remodeled, restructured that gym. I hear it's a very glamorous gym.
It's very
now.
glamorous.
There's a lot to it from what I've seen. I've not been. I don't know if I've ever been. I've been one time. I take that back. But it was before all the remodeling.
Right.
So I've not been back since they've redone everything. Have you seen all the glitz and glamour? Does it truly hold up to what everybody says?
It is beautiful. If you don't have anything to do tomorrow night, come on up. We start at 6 o'clock. And come in and enjoy the lights that's in there, all the show they put on before the game, and then, of course, our show of the game. But it is beautiful, and it's classy.
It's 6 o'clock varsity girls.
6 o'clock
so
varsity
keep that in mind
girls.
if you're watching this. 6 o'clock varsity girls. Do not show up at 6:30. You'll miss some of the action. So if you've got that opportunity, tomorrow night, drive up to Kingsport, watch the Lady Green Devils play starting at 6 o'clock. But I believe that's all we've got. The Lady Green Devils are on their way up to Johnson City now to go watch former Green Devil Lauren Bailey. Interesting point also, when you were talking about that, I remember sitting over there in that exact spot. Mark and I interviewed her whenever she was a Miss Basketball
candidate.
So it's pretty cool looking back now, knowing that she's at the collegiate level now, playing D1 back here in her home state of Tennessee.
Right.
So it's cool. It's a cool thing to look back on.
Cool.
But we'll let y'all get up there. We'll let you all enjoy it. Is it Go Bucks?
It's Go Bucks.
It's Go Bucks. But that's all we got, Coach. Once again, thank you, Coach Holt. Thank you for coming on. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Pizza and Annette Watts Show. We look forward to seeing you next time here on First Horizons Green Sports Zone.